next up, we have Tarkan Maynor, the CEO of Nexenta, a wonderful speaker who is going to talk to us about why all this stuff that we're doing matters. So thank you very much, Tarkan. Oh, I need to do this.
I'll do this, huh? Okay. You know what? It's a small room. I'll do it maybe. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's good so that people on the.
You're right. So 9:47. I was given 15 minutes. 10:02. I'm gonna be done. Thank you so much, Matt. This was the motivational part. I'm motivated. Thank you for inviting me. Matt called me about a couple of months ago and said, this year I need a speaker who has no idea about OpenZFS development. I decided you would be the perfect person. So that's why I'm here. But one thing I can talk about, not the development itself, but can tell you on behalf of all the sponsors and all the companies using OpenZFS, ZFS technology since the inception, and many of you have been involved with this, is obviously the key goal is to grow this base. I joined Nexenta about 2 years ago, knew about ZFS and the development process and everything else, but I was mostly interested as an investor in Nexenta and many companies using ZFS technology was how can we grow the space. So when I joined Nexenta, I was super motivated because we had about 5,000 customers, enterprises using this technology. What you do every day. And these customers were not necessarily just small companies. They are like large enterprises in multiple industries, basically changing their industry in and out. You guys talking about Star Wars? Star Wars 7, so you know, with Skywalker production. We're working right now for the entire movie production and all the audio, video files for the CGI is done on Nexenta ZFS platform. Working with you, with the community. It's going to be a big story. The last movie that, have you seen the Gravity? 99% of the movie was all CGI except for the George Clooney's and Sandra Bullock's face. The entire technology was built on all ZFS technology, and it was almost a 12 petabyte movie in size. As you can imagine, every movie second is about 24 frames. A 3D movie, 72 frames. Each frame is being worked on by artists for many, many months, and it becomes a 12 petabyte movie, and it was all done on ZFS technology and stored today in multiple copies in multiple production houses. All Harry Potter movies, all 7 of them, have been done on our technology. So the things you guys do actually matter. Only from a movie and entertainment perspective, what we call the M&E perspective, that's a huge issue, huge opportunity. So we love working with you guys. And Matt asked me to talk about a couple other use cases where this technology is being used. How many of you know Pepper, the robot? Anybody in the room? This is a new robot, came from a company called Aldebaran in France. It's the first emotional robot. Actually, the robot has about 1,200 sensors and can sense you if you're happy or upset, can make a joke. It's all built on AI, and it's on a SoftBank cloud in Japan. And many of the cloud backbone is built on ZFS technology for the backup and archive of the data. So this robot was actually in our big event we just threw here across the street at VMworld. And this robot was live connected to a data center back in Paris and also in Tokyo. And with OpenStack Foundation now, we're going to be with these folks next week, in a couple of weeks actually in Tokyo, talking about how they're using OpenStack and ZFS technology underneath to manage the data. It's all AI. This is the first emotional robot, emo robot they call, because he gets upset, sad, happy, makes jokes and so on. And the things that you work on get into this kind of technology and we're very proud of. Matt asked me to talk about a little bit some of our partnerships and what we're doing as Nexenta with some of the sponsors in the room, Cluster HQs being one on the container work we're working on. Some of you work with Nexenta, some of you work with Nexenta today, still obviously as part of the community. Someone I was talking outside talked about all-flash arrays. I don't know if you guys saw the news, but Nexenta now built a relationship with SanDisk and Samsung. First time in the industry, software-defined oriented all-flash arrays on their portfolio now bringing the cost to a level that everybody can use ZFS technology. Not only the rich companies, but even the companies, only the charities and universities can deploy this technology. And as a matter of fact, we're starting a new program to grow the community, because we cannot be just 100, 150 people. We want to make sure there are thousands of people, new students coming out of engineering schools, focusing on this technology, on this game-changing technology. So we started a new program with Eric Ray. Eric, where are you? Are you hiding in the back? In Denver with University of Colorado. Anybody from CU, Colorado University of Colorado in the room? In Denver? So we are starting a new program, basically taking the OpenZFS technology and all the things you're working into the computer science department for them to create a curriculum. Now they're going to bring it up basically 100 engineers a year taking classes on OpenZFS. Now we're taking that to San Jose State University in California, University of Miami, and as well as Cambridge in the UK. These are the leading technology universities with CS departments who are focusing on file systems. It is great to build new applications like Uber and whatever the app you're running on your iPhone, but very few really smart people understand file systems coming out of colleges, as you all know. So we want to make sure the new generation, the real smart people tackling big problems like video in the room, and new generation learns this stuff in these colleges. So we're starting this program teaching all those folks, obviously not ourselves, with the universities, to enable the next generation students coming out with this knowledge. So helping us grow in the community. And Matt and I were talking about, we want to keep the community small, we want to keep the community intimate like this, but we want to make sure there are more and more people using this technology to build crazy applications. So just one last point on this one from an Accenture perspective. I'm working with some of you and some of the sponsoring companies. We have a lot of work going on now with some of the leading system vendors. Not only the big names, but the names you never heard before. Companies like Inspur out of China, Lenovo, Supermicro, Quanta now coming into space and gaining momentum in the industry because they understand how different OpenZFS can be for the customers. At the end of the day, we can create the best technology, but we want to make sure what we create is being utilized to tackle some big problems in this crazy world with economic fluctuations. People want to do more with less, and I think we have a great technology thanks to you all in the room and the people on the phones and obviously on their computers listening to this. So on that note, I want to give a few examples on use cases, as I promised to Matt. Like I gave the example about a couple of movies that are fun, but beyond movies, how many of you drive in the room a Hyundai car, the Korean Hyundai? One person, that's it? Two, thank you, Dan. Three. Okay, three people. Hyundai is decided now, taking their car manufacturing to a cloud framework. Let me explain what I mean, because a lot of people use cloud in a funny way. It doesn't mean much. First time in the industry, they decided every new car coming out from their production line has about 1,500 sensors in the car. These are online diagnostic devices coming from companies like Bosch. In the brake pads, carburetor, or whatever the electrical engine is, whatever the type of car they have. And these sensors send data real time to a mini server behind the stereo. A mini server, and that server sends data real time to 17 data centers around the world. They call Connected Car Cloud to deliver information to the driver and insurance companies about the car's status. Are the brake pads in trouble? So the car company Hyundai can control their cars and provide better safety data to the users, to the drivers, and to families. This way they can cut the cost and also sell more cars. And in the future, the CEO's vision is they give the car away, like a phone, and then charge service for the users. Think about this, some of the crazy business models in the future. Guess what? The entire Connected Car Cloud based on Nexenta work with you all on ZFS. That's today, in the last 12 months, almost a 3 petabyte workload, production workload, OpenStack specific. We use a lot of connectivity to Cinder, a lot of block services, some file services, based on the work you've done as a community. This is real deal. And the CEO of Hyundai in Korea just 2 weeks ago told me, since the inception of the company in World War II, they generated about 20 petabytes of data as a company, 20 petabytes. In last 6 to 12 months, with this, they are now production 3 new petabytes. And his vision is for the company to become a data company, data service company, not a car company. This game is changing in a big way. And what you do make a big difference. This is one example from car manufacturing. Let me check my time because I want to be on time. I have another 5 minutes to go. So another example I want to give you is Wipro. And actually, I have a slide here for Wipro. This is not my slide. This is the CEO from Wipro. How many of you know Wipro, the Indian service company? Many of you know. They are based in headquartered actually in Bangalore, but Wipro is a global services company. They have thousands of Fortune 10,000 type of customers, and they run many governments. They provide many, many services, and they decided to move their own data center to a new mode they call open data center. Everything is open source oriented and open source defined. And obviously, Nexenta and our OpenZFS, the work we do, and we use, as you all know, Illumos. We have some work going on also on Linux and BSD. We love all those communities and work with them. But Illumos is the lead platform we chose to work on with Matt and the team. And we love what we're doing in that space. And we want to do more with the community, obviously. And in that context, this is their slide. It's not my slide. Basically, they moved 180,000 VMs, their own internal open data center, closely integrated in the open framework, and they're running all their customers' data centers based on this open source driven data center program, which they call Open Data Center, like OpenZFS. OpenZFS is part of this technology, all Illumos, and we're running right now nearly 22 petabytes there in production, and everything is on commodity hardware now. Everything to move to Dell and Supermicro commodity hardware and some of the branded hardware they had from the past. And this is their slide and their numbers they shared with their investors. A lot of investors did not know what ZFS was. And the CEO was talking about some of the work they've done with us. And to give you an example, they just cost almost 60 to 80%. I just flew in from Detroit. I was with the Ford CIO in Dearborn, Michigan. And they are a Wipro customer. They moved all their internal deployments to Wipro. And even their CIO knew what kind of an open data center technology they're using and how they're taking advantage of the things that we're doing in the room. This is a big deal. The entire car company is running on the system through Wipro, and Wipro now taking this technology to all their engineers. Now Nexenta, as one of the sponsors of the group here, we are now financing and funding nearly 250 new engineers training on OpenZFS Illumos technology to deploy new solutions to other Ford-type large companies like Citigroup and Barclays in the UK, all move into this new technology. What you do every day matters in a big way. I know we are a small group here, about 100 of us, but the group beyond this room is super active, energetic, and we want to give back to the community, not only the community codes, but the community we need to teach, inspire, and like you said, Matt, and grow as we move forward through the universities. So please join us. Give us some ideas. Eric is going to be here all day. Alex Eisman, my co-founder, obviously our CTO, is going to talk about some new technology he's working on with his team on Write Back Cache. You will love it. You're putting a lot of stuff back to the community. And if you're not doing enough, let us know. Open the communications link. We want to do more with you all. We're super excited. I cannot code anything. I'm a completely dumbest guy in the room, but I can tell you, we can invest, we can put money into this thing, and we can support it and grow it. And we want to grow it in a way never been before. Because I think, as a group, most people still don't get what we do. They still don't understand how special this group is, how special you are. So, on that note, I'm actually finishing a minute early. Thank you, Matt. Great to be here. We have a lot of more examples here. I don't want to go through everything, but we have huge success stories on our website. Come to the website and share with the folks. Thank you so much for your time.